Comics are mostly male dominated. Women are usually token characters and when portrayed are over-sexualized and stereotyped. They are also rare. Using characters from DC and Marvel in the Comic Vine database, we analyzed naming conventions, types of superpowers, and the creation bias to see how male and female genders are portrayed. By visualizing the disparity in power, moniker, allegiance, etc., we hope to understand the themes and beliefs around gender in comic books. We are Comic Vine, and we are going to walk you through how we visualized gender representation in comics.
First, we set about comparing the balance of gendered names. 8% of both male and female characters have gendered names. Consider some of the most popular comic characters of all time: Batman, Wonder Woman, Miss Marvel, and Spider-Man. However, the usage of woman and man in the titles are not balanced. Male characters are given man far more frequently than female characters are given woman. On another note, female titles with girl, which is like a diminutive version of a woman, appear more compared to male titles that have boy. The girl titles are the younger or infantilized versions of another name. The wordles show an interesting imbalance between many gendered naming pairs. The frequency of the gendered names has brought out the imbalances between the two genders. Clicking the names provides you with a list of all characters that carry that particular moniker.
We calculated the percentages only from characters with gendered names. As seen, female characters are more likely to be given a name that may make her seem less dangerous and less aggressive with male characters. Moreover, not all gendered names are equal. As mentioned before, some fit a diminutive category. If we compare the use of diminutive names for male and female characters, we see that 28.5% of female characters and 12.6% of male characters fit in the category. The names considered diminutive are those in black text on the chart. They were chosen by good judgment. However, the point remains. If we only consider girl and boy, there is still a significant difference: 13% for females versus 5% for males.
In DC and Marvel, both genders have almost equal power distribution. 62.4% of all male and 62.8% of all female characters have power. But a close examination reveals interesting trends. Ability to control or affect emotional and physical states occur 5 times as often in female characters than male. While females are agile, males are stronger with higher stamina and more gadgets. For example, though Wonder Woman has her lasso and Stargirl has a cosmic staff, it's generally the male characters that like their stuff. Think Thor and his hammer or Iron Man and his suit. What we try to bring out in this visualization is the gender imbalance when it comes to power. In order to do this, we found out what percentage of male and female superheroes had that power. If the percentage of male superheroes with that power was higher than that of female superheroes, we plotted the difference in percentage as leaning towards the male characters and vice versa. For example, the superpower strength was seen in a higher percentage of the male characters than the female characters, and this value was 7.7%, which we have plotted in this chart. There is a clear trend here. Female characters are more often given non-physical, thought-induced abilities.
Finally, we have visualized the origin of gendered characters over the years. We separated both the DC and Marvel datasets here. The bar chart shows a probing comparison of the number of comic characters that were introduced over the years from 1939 to 2013. As we can see, the number of male characters introduced were more than twice the number of their female counterparts. It looks like there have been more female characters created over the years. The trend holds true for Marvel as well. Although from the trends, it looks like we are quite far from getting equal number of new male and female characters in a year, the good news is that things are changing. Both DC and Marvel have slowly begun to increase the number of female characters in their output. In turn, the more we see these characters appear in pop culture, the more their representation matters.
Superheroes are no longer just fictional characters that live on the screen. They are billion-dollar franchises with real-world impact. Representation in mainstream media has caused the world to normalize many gender stereotypes. While comic houses are making strides to bridge the gap, there is a need to look at media in general, such as video games, cartoons, etc., to ensure a fair representation of all genders. Despite characters changing over time, while some features may be altered to break gender stereotypes, established and traditional characters tend to maintain their names and powers. They continue to carry the representative baggage of their past.